Hi everyone, I'm Poonam Minhas and I'm an immigration attorney. My office is based in New York, but I handle cases all over the United States. Today's topic is going to be about the Violence Against Women's Act, which is also known as Vawa and also known as Petition I-360. This is a self-petition and you may be eligible to file if you have been abused by your green card holder spouse or your U.S. citizen spouse. And now this petition is not limited to only to spouses, but it may also apply for parents, and it may also apply to children. But there are certain requirements that need to be met, and you would need to set up a consultation to see if you qualify. A lot of times people have asked me, Poonam, does the abuse have to be physical? And the answer is no. It doesn't have to be physical. It may be mental abuse as well. There have been situations where people have been confined and held against their will to go outside or do anything. And I've had a situation where a client wasn't even able to retrieve her documents because these documents were held hostage and she wouldn't be able to do anything, and she was mentally abused constantly by her family, and she was able to get her petition approved. But now I do want to mention that every case is different. Every case is unique in nature, and that's why it's so important to get your case evaluated. Sometimes your significant other may even threaten you, and that might qualify as an abuse. It really depends. The best thing to do is to sit down with an attorney in private to go over what you have faced and what type of documents do you need to submit. I know that's like the biggest question because everyone gets confused. I don't really have much. What should I do? Go over your case, go over the facts, and that's how the evidence is going to build. The evidence comes in related to what you're going to explain to the attorney. You may have a police report. You may have to sit down and write an affidavit and document everything that's ever happened to you. If you don't remember everything, then you need to give a brief summary of what has happened. Where was the abuse? How did it start? That's really important. If you have people in your family who have witnessed the abuse or have personal knowledge to it, and they want to come forward and provide an affidavit, that's another piece of evidence that's really useful. So it really depends on what type of evidence you have. If USCIS is looking for more evidence, they will reach out to you and submit something called a request for evidence, which is also known as an RFE. And at that moment, you'll have an opportunity to submit more documents. But the best thing to do is to sit with the lawyer, go over your case to see if you're even eligible to file the petition. Another important part about the Violence Against Women's Act, also known as VAWA, is you've gotten a divorce. You were married to your U.S. citizen or green card holder spouse. You got the divorce. Oops, I didn't know about VAWA. I don't know what to do. Can I still file? Well, USCIS requires that you file, if you're eligible, for the VAWA before or within the 2 years of your divorce. So you check your divorce decree and see how much time you have left. And if it's not much time, you need to schedule a consultation to discuss your case to see whether you're even eligible, and you can get this application filed in time, because if you don't file it within the 2-year period, you lose your chances. And there's really no way around it. Another thing I do want to mention before I end this video is if you're in deportation proceedings, other forms of relief might apply in your circumstances, but you really have to get your whole case evaluated. What I like to do is I like to go over all the facts. Timeline is very important, and see what applies where and what you may be eligible for. So again, remember, even though it's called the Violence Against Women's Act, it's not just limited to women, and it's also not just limited to spouses. It may apply to parents, it may apply to children, but again, there are certain requirements that need to be met, and that's where you discuss it with an immigration attorney. So thank you for joining me today, and this was just a brief video about the Violence Against Women's Act, and you may schedule a consultation as soon as possible to inquire more about it. If you or someone you may know needs assistance in filing for Vawa, you may reach out. Thank you and take care.